Water, you got to pay the water bill, you got to buy a water bottle from Coca-Cola and Pepsi and these big companies, and it's not ours. Go ahead.
And in nakedness.
And in our clothes. We might own Rockaware, we might own I'll spell it black, our clothes, Yeezy, whatever it might be, but they got to get the fabrics from somebody else. We don't own the textiles, things like that. Keep on.
I think the biggest one, tax season. What you got to do? Today.
Then you still got to pay tribute to them. We got to give
no
our
matter
money.
what. Like,
we're always in subject to other people. We don't pay taxes to our people to build our nation up. It's to help build everything around us. Go ahead.
And in want of all things.
So everything we want, we got to go to other people for. Go ahead.
And he shall put a yoke of iron upon thy neck until he have destroyed thee.
Right. So when did we have yokes of iron on our necks? Slavery. Things like that on the boats over here, they had us in bondage through chains. And you can Google any other nation, Chinese man, white man, and with yokes around their neck, you're not gonna see any pictures like that. You're gonna see our pictures.
The Holocaust, they didn't have chains around their neck.
And our slave trade was one of the biggest Holocausts. We don't get no recognition for that. Keep going.
Verse 49.
Oh no. Jump down to 64.
And the Jewish people sold us. And they owned the ships.
Right.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28, and verse 64. And the Lord shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other.
So we see our people all over this world. You can look in the islands, South America, Asia. You're going to see our melanated people spread out over this whole entire world. Even Russia, places like that, you wouldn't even think our people would be at. We're spread out over this whole world. But that was a curse. And it's something to keep in the back of your mind, because when you see Christ come, he's going to gather all of his people out of these nations back to our land. Keep going.
And there thou shalt serve other gods, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone.
Because we went into idolatry. That was one of our biggest mistakes throughout our whole walk. Our forefathers, our foremothers, they went into idolatry. Because other nations, they have lowercase g gods. You see Hercules, Zeus, even the Egyptians with Ra and all those type of things. Those are idols. And our people went into those things. So we weren't supposed to be mingling with other nations because they want to lead us astray. And that's what keeps happening. So the curse was, I'm going to spread you out and force you to be with all these other people now. And now you're going to be totally lost, because all you're going to know is their ways and their traditions. Just like here in America, all we know is the American way, the American dream. But if you go back to the Western banks of Africa, you go back to Northeast Africa, that's not the way we were living. You know what I mean? Yeah, something.
Yeah, for example, you had this character named Tammuz, Semiramis, Nimrod, and Tammuz. And that's where the original Trinity comes from. That comes out of ancient Babylon. And that supposed godchild Tammuz, he had a cross. Like the Christians got the cross, but his cross, you're wearing it on your neck. That comes from them.
And that's a form of idolatry. Because the Lord never told you to worship other things. You read the Ten Commandments, he said, don't make these images from earth or things on earth and bow down and worship them. And you see a lot, especially Catholic churches, they have all the monuments, Mother Mary, big crosses, that's the wood. Those are the things that you can make and erect, and people really worship these things.
Because if you really think about it, say if AK-47 bullet killed your mom, would you now wear AK-47 bullet around your neck in honor of your mother?
And that's basically, they say they do it for Christ.
That's basically what they're trying to say. Like, that's not honorable. Like something that killed our Savior, you're gonna now put it around your neck.
Okay, so I have a chain. It's I forget what the cross is called, but it's like chain. Yeah.
That's from Egypt too.
Okay, if I'm wearing that, what does that say about me? Like,
it would say you look like an Egyptian. But that's not our people, though.
Right.
So yeah, I say that because I see the ankh on your neck. So the thing with, like, what we're teaching is the same thing out of the Bible, to repent from that. Like, that's a tattoo, and nothing you can do about that.
Yeah.
Now, but moving forward, never do something like that again.
So our some people, and I get why we did that, because we think
We was
how
reaching
great.
for something.
Exactly. That's verse 28. You read it right now. We always looking for something. And when we see Egypt, we see how great of a nation that was. So naturally, because we think because they're melanated like us, that we're the same, but we're not.
I thought that.
Huh?
I thought that.
Because
Right.
that's right here.
So and it's nothing wrong with that. Well, I'm not saying nothing wrong with that, but that's how our people were lost. So we've been reaching for something, and this was a curse too. Go ahead.
The book of Deuteronomy, chapter 28 and verse 28. And the Lord shall smite thee with madness and blindness and astonishment of heart. And thou shalt grope at noonday, as the blind gropeth in darkness.
Right. So in the middle of the day, we're gonna be reaching, just like a blind man that can't see anything. And even though we're in the middle of the day with the sun out as bright as this is, we don't know what we're reaching for. We don't know what we're going after. So we get a little bit of history, or somebody gives us a little bit of knowledge. We like, oh man, that's it. Because we know religion, following these people, and some of those things, like I don't know if you go to church or grow up in church, you see some cliche things. You might have some good people, but are they really teaching you the Bible? So we get into these motions where we're just reaching for something, or people get offended at church, and they go, oh, I'm going to go to Egypt and be like, oh, I'm going to get this knowledge and everything, but not knowing that's still a different set of people who worship idols.
Yeah,
And that was part of our problem.
Let me pull something real quick. Go to Exodus 6, and it might be verse 3, but to show the difference. Because the children of Israel, when they were in captivity, their first captivity, you know who it was? It was the Egyptians. So like the ark you're wearing, those are the people that had us in captivity.
Yeah, I hate to get off the subject, but I wanted to ask you, what do it mean to you?
Well, I thought it was like woman's birth. Like how a woman create a human. I thought that's what it was.
It's got something to tie with that too, but I also heard it was just a tool. But people give it all these different meanings and things like that. And
Right.
And that's their imagery, and that's just symbolism and stuff for them too. That's okay for them, but that's not what the Lord commanded for us. We're supposed to exalt Him above all of these things. Like the Bible talks about worshiping the creations more than we worship the Creator. So the things that we see on earth is all the creations. So we shouldn't be worshiping these things. We should be worshiping the one that created all these things. And that's the mentality that we got to get out of. Not worshiping a man or worshiping a woman. No, we worship the Most High God. Exodus chapter 6, verse 5. And I had also heard the groaning of the children of Israel, whom the Egyptians keep in bondage.
So
and I remembered my covenant.
Yeah, the Egyptians held us in bondage. Just like today, we came here bought as slaves, and we served them. We're still in the land of our captivity. We haven't been taken away and carried back to our home. But keep going. Keep going.
Verse 6. Wherefore say unto the children of Israel,
say
I am the Lord.
Say unto the children of Israel, because the whole Bible is about us.
And I will bring you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians, and I will rid you out of their bondage, and I will redeem you with a stretched out arm and with great judgments.
Go ahead.
And I will take you to me for a people, and I will be to you a God. And you shall know that I am the Lord your God, which bringeth you out from under the burdens of the Egyptians.
So the same thing is coming. It's coming. That's why you see war breaking out all over the earth. Like then he destroyed the Egyptians. Now he's going to destroy everybody, because everybody had a part in what they did to us. We've been spread into all nations. Well, there's nothing you can do about that, but you got to move forward.
All right, so I'm just going to use it for my own meaning then, now that I know the real meaning.
But it's good that your spirit is feeling you like that, because that shows that you got something, what's inside of you is being brought out. The Lord already gave us everything we need. It takes moments like this for us to start getting a revelation. I grew up in church. I did all the Sunday school stuff. I was an usher, children's choir, all of that stuff. My dad and grandma still go to that same church. But when I came into the understanding of really how we're supposed to read this Bible and who it's for and the things we're supposed to do and not just go through Sunday service, it changed my whole mindset, and I had to separate from that.
And I wanted to add to it, because just like you got the information about the arm and you tagged it on, like how much research did you do about it? How much did you read for yourself? So the same, so I'm gonna just say the same things we telling you. Don't just take it as face value. Go and read this book for yourself. Like take some of these, because we got classes on it. So go look at some of them classes.
That's on the fly. Our YouTube and Facebook is up there.
And fact check it.
But we got 2 more verses for you. one more verse for you just to nail this on, because we got off one a little bit. Deuteronomy 28 and 68. Oh, wait.
64.
Wait, that's
4 first. Oh, you did?
Yeah, that's how we got
Oh,
on to
okay.
that. Yeah. The wood and stone. And on the stone, I didn't talk about the stone, but that's Islam. They can walk around the stone in, what is it, Mecca? And then they kiss it, they bow down to it, they worship. That's a stone. That's idol worship as well. So a lot of our people are in Islam, but that's also given to us through slavery. The sub-Saharan slave trade was a slave trade that we had in the Middle East long before we came over here to the Americas.
Yeah.
So we've been in slavery over and over and over again for the same crimes. Now it's our time to start breaking those generational curses. That's what we talk about when we say breaking generational curses, is now realizing these signs and these wonders have been put on us to see who we are and make the corrections. Our parents didn't know, our great-grandparents might not have known, but it's our time now to be the ones to break these curses. And you see a lot more of our people start to get more conscious of these things. It's just, what is it rooted in? But we got to be rooted in that.